It's time for your daily dose of all things Chicago sports. This is the Daily Score. Now, here's your host, Mark Grote.
Hello and welcome into the Daily Score. And I want to get right into it. We're going to be talking Bears on this episode. And as I was just saying, discussing the person that I sit next to at work every single day of my life. And that person, that man, that inspiration, that writer for 670thescore.com, he is Chris Emma. Chris Emma, ladies and gentlemen, making his second appearance on the Daily Score. He has been our best guest. That's why we had him back on again. He has also been the only guest we've ever had on this show. What up, Emma?
You know, it's I set the bar high, I believe, the first time, or low. It depends who you ask, I guess. But it is great to be back.
I'm glad you're back. You know, I was just thinking about this as we were chit-chatting about training camp, and you know, we're both going to the dual practice in Indianapolis and Carmel proper, so it's a little getaway, a little change up from camp, which I like. Do you miss going to Bourbonnais for the getaway and reporting from Bourbonnais?
I do. Yeah, I definitely do. It's you know, it's obviously more comfortable being able to sleep in your own bed and, you know, do your own routine as you go through it. But I love the simplicity of Bourbonnais, where it's all kind of ball. It really is. You get down there and, you know, there's nothing else going on but football and work. It's like, I kind of love that. I mean, it's different just having that drive up to Hallis and that excruciating trip down to the Kennedy every day as it seems to get worse and worse. And it's I miss the ease of Bourbonnais.
Yeah, Bourbonnais, it was like you were away. Pack your bags for 2 weeks worth of stuff. You are gone. You are there on a work trip. You don't think about a lot of your own life and your personal life and things like that. I mean, obviously it's so easy to do that in this day and age, but it was a true getaway. And you and I made the most of it on our famous trips to Buffalo Wild Wings.
That's right. Yeah, it's I enjoyed Bourbonnais, and I didn't get to do what everybody else did in terms of staying in the dorms and doing that whole deal. I know you did for a bit. I wish I would have I wish I would have had that experience. The experience that a lot of the other writers had. You know, it's funny how a bunch of 40 and 50-year-olds, not myself, but it's okay, Chris. Into a college kid, and all these adults turn into a bunch of man-childs out there. I experienced that one.
Yeah, no, definitely. And we could probably do a whole podcast, and maybe we will at some point in time, on training camp and training camp stories and all the goods. But then there's a lot of proprietary material that goes into that as well. So yeah, maybe I scratch that off the list if I want to survive with my fellow Bears beat brethren. But let's get into the Bears and training camp. I know I talked to you earlier today, and I was thinking, let's do some training camp MVPs. We'll do top two guys, MVP, runner-up, and if you want to throw an honorable mention guy in there as well. But who so far, Emma, in this camp has been your MVP and runner-up?
It's really no question to me. It's DJ Moore. I mean, the guy has made a play every day, multiple plays, a lot of days. Days where the offense isn't going well, he's still standing out. Like, he's that good. I mean, the guy's got superstar potential, and we saw it throughout 5 years in Carolina. He's fantastic out there. He and Justin Fields are really in sync. You can see it every day. There's a true comfort and confidence there, and the guy kind of carries himself like that star. And I've been impressed by him every day. It seems like it's something every single practice you're out there. It's like, there's another play. There's DJ. Yesterday is the first play of practice. Bang, there's DJ over the middle, touchdown. It's like just constant. The guy continues to stand out. He's the best player on the roster right now. He's been the best player and most impressive in training camp.
It's funny, man. I was just thinking about how, you know, you're saying he's like a cool customer and guy just knows what he's doing. The guys on this offense, except for, with the loud exception of Chase Claypool, they are just this really quiet bunch of offensive players. Justin Fields, Khalil Herbert, Darnell Mooney, like soft-spoken, calm dudes, and DJ Moore fits right in with that group. It's just, I suppose it's just by chance that it's happened that way.
Well, it's
That
just
kind of
too,
strikes me.
right? I mean, you get why DJ along with Darnell Mooney, those guys really click well with Justin. Like they're so similar in personalities, and they both, all three of them really have that kind of quiet confidence about them. Like you kind of understand why they really mesh well together. In the case specifically with DJ Moore, why he and Justin Fields really clicked right away.
So well put. Yeah, the quiet confidence. So that's just a little theme to build on right there. As a matter of fact, Chris, I'd like to see you write a long story about that and completely credit me for inspiring you.
I'll get right on that.
All right. So you got DJ Moore. Who's your runner-up?
Tyreek Stevenson, the rookie, the second round pick. He's really along the same lines of what we're talking about. I'll go the other way with this now. I like somebody who's loud. I like a rookie who's talking crap, and that's Tyreek Stevenson. We saw it when he was going up against Chase Claypool, and he's really been talking this whole camp. Like, I like that. You need to have confidence. You need to have swagger as a corner in this league, and he's got that. You can see it every day. You can hear it. Like, that matters to me. It says this guy belongs. But his play backs it up. We've seen it, too, the way he goes up in these matchups. That first preseason game, the way that he was pursuing those tackles, that aggressiveness. Think about that screenplay he blew up. We've seen a lot of examples of that, similar plays like that throughout the course of camp. Like, and Flus has talked about it. Whenever you ask Flus about Tyreek Stevenson, he said, this guy loves to tackle. He knows what he's doing out there. Like, they believed in that. But he's been a playmaker all throughout camp, and he's really impressed me.
It reminds me of, different positions, but it reminds me of Jaquan Brisker last year, where you just kind of felt like, and I don't think Brisker made nearly the amount of plays that Tyreek Stevenson has made, but there was that guy looks like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I'm sure I've never asked Ryan Poles about kind of the personality traits he looks for in, corner or safety, but like you have to have that in those roles. Like that's like such a key spot where that confidence matters. I mean, Tyreek Stevenson, like right out of the gate, is going to be in some really big matchups. And, they're counting on this guy. They drafted him to be a starter. I know Terrell Smith has been pushing him, but it's going to be Stevenson. He's going to win that spot. And he belongs. He's absolutely looks like he belongs. And we've seen that all throughout camp.
Let's stay with the secondary and the defensive backs here for a second because it'll lead nicely into one of my MVPs. And this is the Daily Score. I'm Mark Grote. The other guy is my guy, Chris Emma, who, just like me, covers the Bears every day of his life. As you could see, if you're watching on YouTube, he's on Twitter at CEmma670. Yeah, it's right there for you. We invite you. If you're not watching on YouTube, again, we'd love you to do that. And as you can see, at Mark Grote Sports. At Mark Grote Sports is where you can follow me on Twitter. We're both on Instagram as well. So and those are great. Those are two great guys. And I don't really know. I know I'd probably lose the popular vote on DJ Moore because, let's face it, DJ Moore is the real MVP of everything the Bears have done so far, including their first preseason game. But I will go with my MVP so far, Chris, for this camp is Kyler Gordon. It's not like Kyler Gordon was a bad player by any means last year, but he was classic rookie struggles, like the volatility factor was real for Kyler Gordon last year. He struggled at times, not to say he didn't make plays, but man, he has looked so confident and so smooth playing in the slot, a lot of good battles against Darnell Mooney. I think that and then, even in that first preseason game, I know that the defense looked bad on the overall on that drive, but he had two ball jarring hits on that drive. So it's like, okay, I've seen the transformation of a player, and I've seen it go from training camp to a game. So I'm really looking forward to Kyler Gordon. What do you think about that pick?
Yeah, he was up there in my Mount Rushmore, I guess you could say, of MVPs for this camp. Absolutely. I mean, you can tell confidence. I'm going to use that word again here, but like that was a guy who was lacking confidence so badly last year. You could see it. You and I both talked to him multiple times, mid-season, late season, when he's kind of more open. Like, yeah, it's been hard. It's been an acclimation. I've not been ready for this and that, and it's been a lot of struggles. Like I appreciate the candor that he had of going through everything he was kind of dealing with as a player, but he felt toward the end of the season that he found something. We've seen it in camp. He looks like a different player out there. He looks like the guy that the Bears drafted. I think he's a lot more comfortable in this nickel position. I believe that, this whole secondary, the defense as a whole being improved is really kind of lifting him up. And he's really been impressive throughout camp.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt about it. And can't wait to get to the real games to confirm, for real what we've seen so far. And before we get to Justin Fields, I'll just give you my runner-up guy. It's this is not going to be very fun, but it's TyreCarter, who has the second year offensive lineman that has basically played right guard for the entire training camp because of the drama that's going on with Nate Davis, who I don't know if he's healthy, if he's not, or what's going on, or when he's going to play again. But TyreCarter, seeing him get downfield blocking, I think it was on the Herbert one? He and Cody Whitehair, like it was just like, he we don't talk about him a lot because he's doing just fine. And I don't know that he's ready to start as, in the NFL at this point. But, Ryan Poles did develop one fifth-rounder to be your left tackle, and Braxton Jones. Who knows about TyreCarter? But, yeah, I'm going to give the offensive line a little love, Emma.
Yeah, and I like that you said that. I agree with you there. He's maximized an opportunity with Nate Davis out. And the big picture takeaway, you touched on it a bit there. It's Ryan Poles' ability to identify offensive line talent. Like, ever since Poles came into this GM job, we've kind of blindly assumed, well, he's an offensive lineman at heart. He knows how to scout. They're like, we don't know what his scouting traits are, what he's looking for. But we've had 2 drafts so far, and the returns are good. Braxton Jones looked, mostly impressive a lot of times as a rookie. I think he's going to have a big second season and really kind of anchor down that left tackle spot. But yeah, the success of a guy like a TyreCarter, like that goes a long way. You kind of understand what Ryan Poles is looking for, and you can see the traits. And his ability to get downfield is impressive to me. That really stands out as well. He looks comfortable out there. You talk to his teammates that believe in him. Even Nate Davis, when he's asked about, say, the kid can play out there. Like, it's encouraging to, our assumptions on Ryan Poles' drafting of the O-line. Like, maybe it's right. Maybe he is somebody who can really identify talent there. And obviously, Darnell Wright's going to be the guy we truly evaluate Poles off of with that. But I like to see late round finds, and Carter looks like he could be one of those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just looking up here, just at the guys that he drafted, those offensive linemen that he drafted last year. We talked about Braxton Jones, the 5th rounder, every game at left tackle last year. Then you had Zach Thomas, a 6th rounder out of San Diego State. I think they cut or waived. I think he might have been on the practice squad. I believe. What's that?
We got claimed by the Rams.
That's right. I think that he was not protected and he was claimed by the Rams. Then we talk about TyreCarter and Doug Kramer. Doug Kramer has been out there. I don't know, man. I didn't expect to get stuck on this here in this podcast. I mean,
look,
is Doug Kramer the backup center for this team?
I don't know. I will see. I'm curious about Lucas Patrick's spot and whether he's going to make the 53 or if he's somebody you cut loose. Look, the equation on this. I mean, hitting 2 out of 4 late round picks, it might be a huge success if you count Carter in that. Hitting 1 out of 4 day 3 picks for the offensive line, like that's fantastic. And I think Braxton Jones is going to be that guy you're talking about for a number of years at that spot. And I'm expecting a big second season out of him, but. If Carter can, I don't know if he might be starting some games this season. We'll see. I'm curious to see his development, but yeah, he's made a good impression so far.
Yep. All right, let's get on to Justin Fields and just kind of go through our opinions on the evaluation and what you've seen from Justin Fields in training camp and even in the preseason game, if you would like. Where are you with Justin Fields? What's on your mind about this Bears starting quarterback?
I loved what I saw in the preseason game. Obviously, you have to love it. And getting the ball out quickly in that screen pass to DJ Moore, letting him take it. Love the way he extended that play on the pass that went for the touchdown to Herbert. It's signs of increased comfort and confidence and trusting your playmakers, right? That play to Herbert, for example. I don't know if he's getting rid of that ball to any receiver, any target last season.
That's a great point, man.
Thinking about just tucking in and running it, but I like the quick ball design. I know there's been a lot of talk about he's not throwing the ball deep, the yards in the air, whatever. Like this is an offense that's really based, obviously built around the run, but they want to get the ball out quickly. They want those kind of passes like you saw to DJ Moore. I want to see a lot. I'm really curious to watch Justin Fields the next 2 days in Indianapolis because it's going to be a different test. And he kind of admitted it too. Like, I don't think he's going to play much in that preseason game. He's going to get a lot of important reps against the Colts when they go live in these practices. He's going to see an unfamiliar defense. Now, it's not the same defense he's been going against. It's not that base scheme that he's used to seeing every day. He's going to be seeing different looks. He's going to be getting different rushes. He's going to be seeing different coverages that he's completely not used to. It's really a test on the fly to see his decision-making. I'm going to learn a lot about Justin Fields in the next couple of days, and I'll be able to kind of give you a better sense of where he stands after these practices. But it's a great test, and I think he's looking forward to it.
Yeah, some great points there. Yeah, the Justin Fields factor in the dual practice, that is going to be a blast to watch that and get a better idea. And, they're not going to be like the pitch count and all of that kind of stuff. So that's a great point. And I loved your point too about the play where he's eluding the pressure and then dumps it off to Khalil Herbert for the touchdown. Like, you're right. He probably would have run in that spot. No doubt about it. So that's definitely a great takeaway from it.
Mean,
go ahead,
the biggest thing for Fields this season is trusting his guys, right? It's like he didn't have any guys he could trust last season. It's why he was so reluctant to throw the ball or to take a chance on somebody. It's why he tucked and ran so much. He doesn't want to be setting rushing records this season. He's talking about that. He wants to be that 4,000-yard passer. If he trusts these guys, and we've seen the connections develop so far, he can really make that important step as a passer this season.
Yeah, and that's still what that's what I've zeroed in on the most, and maybe in sort of symbolic way, what DJ Moore did can change a little bit of my rough draft thoughts for the Bears, and like maybe like you said, Justin Fields doesn't have to fling the ball down the field and be like the greatest elite passer in the world. But that said, there's been a lot of ups and downs for Justin Fields in this camp, a lot of down days, quite frankly. Yeah. And maybe it is because, and I'll just speak for myself, maybe for me, I expected to see the discernible jump going into this training camp. And that's what I haven't seen. Like, I haven't seen the, oh yeah, you got to see this guy moment, but maybe that's just unrealistic for me. And I'm on the side of the people that are just pushing him to this place way too fast. And it doesn't have to happen overnight. So that's kind of how I look at it and what informs my opinions a lot of times, because a lot of days I'm like, this was not a good day for the Bears offense, but that's just the way I've seen, and that's the way I've felt.
It's going to sound really funny and sad to say, but like, I've only covered the Bears in my reporting career. Like, I don't know what a great quarterback looks like in training camp. I'd say that not even like in a mocking way, like dead serious. I don't know, like, what does Aaron Rodgers look like during the course of training camp? Does he have days where the defense is just beating him down? And I don't know. I don't know what to look for in terms of the signs of, is he great? Like, we've seen the struggles. There's a lot of, you can see clear as day. Oh, he's holding on to the ball too long. That play's dead. It's a sack. The guy, I know he's not getting thrown down in the backfield for a sack, but like, you can see when he's holding on too long. But like, I don't know. I don't know what greatness looks like from a quarterback in training camp.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe none of this matters, and he has that kind of breakthrough season everybody hopes this year. I can't tell you right now.
Yeah, it's really tough to tell. And those are great points too. I mean, in terms of what we're seeing and what we think we're supposed to see, and if we don't see exactly what we want to see, does that mean it's a failure? Is it possible that there's things that they're literally working on that they would never consider doing in an NFL game? That's all possible. Sort of like the comp of a pitcher in spring training when they're working on a pitch that they're trying to add to their repertoire that they may not even ever use.
Yeah, and I mean, we've heard a lot of examples of, a throw that maybe, gets knocked down in coverage or picked off. It's, it's just a quarterback taking a chance, seeing what he can try to get away with throughout the course of camp. Like, is he making that decision in a regular season game? Probably not. Again, I don't know what greatness looks like from a quarterback throughout the course of camp, but you can tell the basic signs of whether Fields is making the development that you want to see. We've seen a mixed bag so far, and you hope you can get the complete product when you get to the season.
All right. I see that our 10 to 15 minute daily podcast is now heading into its 19th minute, and that's my fault. So really quickly, I don't think you could top the Justin Fields and watching what he's going to do in the dual practices on Wednesday and Thursday. So that's definitely the number one thing to watch. But what else turns you on about this Bears Colts dual practice coming up, or joint practice, as Ray just put on the board? It's always about the joints with Ray. I don't, whatever.
Well,
yeah.
It's not the Wake and Bake Club here. I want to see Darnell Wright. I want to see him full go. Look, in the course of Bears on Bears, when it's offense against defense, they're not playing to the echo of the whistle. They're not attacking on the defense. Darnell Wright's got a chance now. He doesn't have to look after the Colts defensive line and make sure that he's keeping them healthy. He can play as physical as he wants out there. You're going to really get a look. You saw it in that preseason game with the snaps he had out there. Looked good. He looked impressive. I want to see it throughout the course of camp. I want to see that mean streak and that physicality out there. I think you're going to get a lot of that from Darnell Wright.
Yeah, and we'll see if maybe, Yannick Ngakoue obviously played with the Colts last year. See if he gets out there, if they let him loose just a little bit. And just for the hell of it, maybe Nate Davis will practice, Chris.
We'll see, respectively. We'll see.
That's it. That's all the time we have. Chris, thanks for coming on. You've been a terrific guest. Thank you, sir.
Best and worst guest so far.
That's right. That is Chris Emma of 670thescore.com. Follow him now on Twitter at CEmma670. He is posting Bears content just about every single day, and we'll both be in Indianapolis and reporting from there for the Score. For Ray Diaz, I am Mark Grote. Thanks for watching.